Hello and welcome to the OnlyBets Sports Podcast here on a Monday. Looking forward to a great day in all of sports. We are coming off an epic Friday show where I think all of us had unbelievable days. Let us recap it real quick. Drew, do you remember what you played on Friday? Or how was your weekend first? And then we'll get to the recap.
My weekend was pretty good. Didn't have so much college as I want, but I was hitting some of the totals and quite a bit of World Baseball Classic. It's been great. College trying to get back on track of it. I think on Friday I didn't. I don't think I hit my two college picks. Unfortunately, I think it was Dayton. I believe they blew it against VCU, and the other one, UCF, decided not to show up for their tournament hopes. So, yeah.
Oh, that stinks. But Prince of Picks, I believe, went 5 for 6 on his soccer plays, which was cool. And then I had 8 plays myself, and I think I went 6-2, if I'm not mistaken. If I am wrong, I really do apologize. I don't mean to be. But it was a great day overall. I definitely know that my bank account appreciated it. Looking forward to another great week. We have baseball coming up in just a half an hour. Wanted to get to those picks. Unfortunately, my Australia play at +2.5 did not cash. And really, unfortunately, I played it against Japan the day before, and that did cash, but I didn't get it out to the public, so doesn't really count, does it? All right, yeah, let's just get right into it, man. Do you have anything for this Colombia-Panama game here? I know that our main man, Matty Ice, links no runs in the first inning. You can get that at -110 over on ESPN. Personally, I'm playing that. Can't play it
True.
officially because it wasn't my play, but I love that, man. How about you?
I would say this is going to be a really good game. Actually, it's funny. One of my buddies in my Discord just asked me, who do you think wins this game? And personally, I've been very impressed with this Panama team. I think this Panama team is pretty underrated because usually when you see the name Colombia, you think, they're a team that is to be reckoned with. But I think Panama has a chance. I know they're favored right now, but I think Panama is being undervalued here. I'm not going to take a bet on this game because I did do something on the DR game at the same time. But I would pick Panama to win this.
Well, that's exactly where my head went. I guess I get it. Columbia has the name brand value, but they're not the same team here. They're just not. They've surrendered 20 runs in the last 3 games. Their bullpen is exhausted. And generally, if you're playing 3 games in 4 days and your bullpen has already given up 20 runs, I'm going to say that you're probably not going to do well against the Panama team that is doing quite well. They're playing competitive. They haven't lost a game by more than 4 runs yet in the 2 games that they've played here. So yeah, give me Panama and the money line -105. I think Panama is just the better team here, the more rested bullpen. And I do expect that this number will probably move. And if I'm looking correctly, it did move already to -130 on the money line. So if you're following my premium picks on Substack, you would have gotten that price at -105. A lot of these numbers have moved dramatically. Something to talk about here. When we were waiting last night, we were talking about it. The Venezuela-Nicaragua game and the Dominican Republic-Israel game. Both of those lines came out at -4.5, extremely juiced, right? The books were clearly worried about action on the favorites, DR and Venezuela. And now you can get both of those lines. Dominican Republic is at -8.5 in some books, and Venezuela is -6.5 in some books. So wild. They're clearly don't know what to do with a lot of these numbers, and the public is clearly on one side of them. So yeah, but first play of the game is going to be Panama money line. I guess you can get that at -130. I played it at -105. Let's get to our second game here. DR versus Israel. I like Israel. They played really tough. They got the win yesterday, but I don't know how much they're going to be able to do against just a epic team. Just an epic team. DR is a superstar lineup through and through. The only question that we have is how deep is their bullpen? But I don't think that's going to matter against a just non-biased, very weaker team in Israel. Israel doesn't have a good 5 innings from their starter. They're cooked. Give me the DR here in any way that you can. I found it hard to find a play here on the value because the -4.5 was juiced to -220. So what I did was I took DR minus 4.5. I parlayed that with Venezuela on the money line, and honestly, any parlay piece that you like today, I would recommend. I personally, I took the Man City game tomorrow against Real Madrid. I just took them to score 1+ goal. That gave me the juice at minus 142, and I felt decently comfortable with that position. Do you have any plays on the DR game here? I think you do, right? You like the team total, I'm assuming, because you've cashed it day in and day out.
Yeah, I'm doing their team total. And it's funny because the first time they played their first game, it was over 2.5. They made it sweaty, but they cashed. And then the second one was sweaty, but if you see the end of the fifth inning, it wasn't. Like it was like 4-0 going in the fifth. And then Junior Camaro had a home run, and they had another home run, and it was 9-1 after the fifth. I was looking at because I was debating this a little bit ago, and I was like, I'm going to stick what's not broke. I did their over 4.5, over 5.5 first five for minus 1.5, minus 105 for first five. Their first, I think on DK, their first three was over 2.5. But I like the value on Fanatics where I can add the boost well to make it plus 119 for over 5.5. One of the reasons is I know Israel shut out the last game, but the last time they played a team similar to DR was Venezuela, and they got absolutely rocked. It was like 11-1. And I just trust this DR lineup. I don't believe they're sitting anyone either. DR, they're very passionate about like their team, of course. And everybody in that lineup, if you look at them, they don't take bats off. Like I'm gonna be honest, like everyone wants to score runs there. They're very passionate about the country, and I expect them to get to the starting pitcher early. At the end of the day, and something I noticed with this DR lineup is when you have to see them a second time around, that's when they light you up. That's why I like the first five a little better than the first three, because if you look at the DR, they've scored like 2 runs in the first inning, and then they've been stagnant the second and third. But in the fourth and fifth is when they start lighting things up. And I think it's kind of like what John Smoltz, I like listening to him. He said yesterday when he was announcing the game, he said, like, you're facing murderer's row at this point. Like a starting pitcher, you need to keep calm. And if you're nervous at all, like there's no weakness in the lineup except for the 8 and 9, as we saw the 8 and 9 with Austin Wells and Nick Gonzalez, I think. But if like he was basically explaining, like, yo, if you even to get Tatis out, you have to face Marte. To get Marte out, to face Soto, then you have to face Vlad. Then you have to face Manny, and it just keeps on going and going. So
It's just
give me the
not.
over 5.5.
Yeah, it's really just not nice. Oh, my dogs are barking here. The mailman must be here. But yeah, that's exactly right. You're sweating Soto just to get to Vlad Guerrero, and that's not a better. I mean, I don't know. I'm not going to get into the semantics on who's better and what's a more fierce at bat, but I don't want to face either of them. And you're talking about prospects here. You're not talking about Major League Baseball players. You're not talking about veterans in some of these other leagues like Japan or Cuba or somewhere where they actually can play baseball. You're talking about baseball prospects, someone who is in the minor leagues pitching against the best of the best in Major League Baseball, which is clearly the best league in all of baseball. So
And these players
worldwide.
don't strike out for the DR. Like there's a lot of team players like Fernando is not as high a strikeout rate, but Soto rarely strikes out. Vlad rarely strikes out. Manny doesn't strike out as much. Like that's the scary part about these hitters. So and either of them can go bomb. All of them have power.
By the way, what happened to your home run parlay from the other day?
Oh, the one I sent, the one that I sent that had like six or seven.
Yeah. Sorry about that. I
Yeah.
was just making myself another cup of
Oh yeah.
coffee.
Only like two of them hit, but I used like bonus bets.
Just
I think
making
one of them
sure.
was Junior, and I think he got it. Yeah, but shout out to Junior. He got hit. It was funny because he got hit in the arm, the other on the elbow, like this funny bone. And then he was lighting up the crowd, and the next at bat, he launches a home run. So shout out to him.
Nice. All right, let's get into the next game here. We got so many picks to go through, and the games start at 12. But we did get through those two. So if you want to get that in real quick, I recommend getting those in however you like. Um, but I do have another one that's going to be in a parlay piece. So I want to get through them. Let's get through the Brazil going up against Great Britain. Both of these teams are 0-3, but I think that the level of talent is remarkably different in these teams. Do you have any thoughts on this game specifically before I get into it?
Yeah, so something I will say is about Great Britain is that I appreciate like they've been keeping up in the beginning of games. It's been nothing to do with really their pitching It's the biggest issue has been, especially in the Italy game. I noticed it was their fielding. They had too many fielding errors, and Italy is a really force go team. We saw what Italy, I think, that they did to Brazil. I believe. I just think Great Britain's overall better. They have a slightly better hitting and much better pitching, and I just trust them more in general here.
Yeah, that's basically it for me too. I think Great Britain has shown remarkable resilience against really top tier teams. They played USA, they played Mexico, and again, like you said, Italy may not be a top tier team, but they're pretty good. They're up there. They're on the top half of this board here, and they made every single one of these games somewhat competitive. Cannot say the same thing about Brazil, who have lost both of their games by a margin of 9 runs. I think that the offensive output is just not there for Brazil. Great Britain is not a great team, but they have decent pitching. They've been doing all right. And if they can just keep a mild level of competence going, they should walk away with a multi-run win. I am so mad that I didn't grab the run line at -1.5, but I will definitely take the run line at -2.5. And I'm going to walk away happy here, I think.
Yeah, actually, I think and Brazil's lost 3 games already too, which is tough on them. Yeah, I think the first game they lost by 10, the second 8, and the third game they lost by 16.
Yeah.
So that's very unfortunate on their side. So yeah, I would definitely agree with you, the Great Britain side. And also both these teams are basically eliminated, unfortunately, but I think they're still fighting for their country pride.
Yeah, something else to keep in mind, they've scored 0 runs in the last 2 games. They lost to Mexico 16-0. Nil, bringing in my soccer. 16-0. They lost to Italy 8-0. And yeah, they did score against USA, but they got blown out by 10 runs. It's just not close. And then Great Britain against Italy went 4-7. They lost 4-7. They lost to the USA 9-1. Fine. And then Mexico 8-2. So I think that against a lesser talent in Brazil, they should be able to get a multi-run win. Get to
Also for that
yeah.
USA game, it was 1-0 going in the fifth, Great Britain.
Yeah, that's a very good point. Their bullpen got really tired, and we faded them on the Italy game, but they did come back, which showed a lot of resilience. And I would like to be careful if Great Britain is up early in this game. I might hedge maybe on an over, but I definitely do like them to walk away with the win here. I wouldn't go 3.5. I think that's a little juiced. I would rather have taken this at -1.5. I think -2.5 is decent value. Let's get to the next game here. We're just gonna rock and roll right through them. Nicaragua and Venezuela. Now, tale of two teams here. Nicaragua is 0-3. Venezuela is 2-0. Granted, we've been trying to bet on teams that have only played two games versus teams that have played 3 games, but I don't think it would even matter here if it was in the reverse. I think Venezuela is just in another class than Nicaragua and should get the multi-run victory very easily. I just took the Venezuela -4.5 on the run line and parlayed that with Dominican Republic money line for -146. I'm going to eat the juice and just call it a day. How about you, man?
So yeah, the thing about Nicaragua is the thing with them is they've shown flashes and on like 1 game. I would say I know the Dominican Republic game, the Dominican Republic game, I faded them, and then you Dominican just absolutely dominated them. The Netherlands game back on Saturday was pretty impressive. To where it was like a 4-3 game, but their last game was absolutely an embarrassment. They got shut out by Israel 5-0. No, I'm not saying anything against Israel, but you shouldn't be getting shut out by Israel, in my opinion. So I
That
would
was
definitely,
definitely a highlight of Israel's tournament
oh yeah,
year, and I
exactly.
expect negative regression here as well. Yeah, I agree with
Yeah.
you though.
Yeah, and like that's the thing where like you said, like honestly, I even like their 5.5 and I like the reduced alt. I think Venezuela is still one of the most underrated teams in terms of like powerhouse wise, because people focus on, of course, the DR, USA, and like Mexico, right? But I think Venezuela is close to up there, especially with their hitting. And anytime you have Ronald Acuna in your lineup, you always have a chance. And their fielding is nasty too. So I like Venezuela.
Yep. And yeah, let's just move on because there's nothing else to add there. I think that Venezuela gets this and gets this easily. I have them in way too many money line parlays here, and I'm kind of getting nervous. If either the DR or Venezuela lose today, I am screwed. But I have pretty high confidence in both of those teams. That's why I took the money line and the spread in the opposite direction on each of those games. Cuba, Puerto Rico. Both of these teams are 2-0. Puerto Rico has the pitching advantage, but I think Cuba is more of a complete team here. What do you think?
That's tough. Yeah, because of course this is the worst Cuba like hitting lineup we've seen like in the WBC since it started. Something though I because of course Puerto Rico, right? We view Puerto Rico as like like what should be a powerhouse, but it's not the same when they had like Yachty Molina and all them. So this is kind of like a toss up kind of game to me that I'm probably going to stay away from. Puerto Rico does have the picking has the pitching advantage, but Cuba's pitching has been doing really well too. Both these teams are have been pretty low scoring teams. Something I was possibly looking at was the 9.5 under. I can see a low scoring game, but I'll probably stay away from it.
I like that actually. I like the under 9.5. I wonder what the first five line is, but Cuba's bullpen has been great, and that's kind of what I'm focusing on here. They only lost to Colombia 4-7. They beat Colombia 4-7. They beat Panama 3-1 here. If they lose, I think that they keep it close here. And I'm just gonna take the plus 2.5 at plus 102. I think that's a gift of a line here. Yeah, Puerto Rico might have the starting pitcher advantage, like we said, but they're not really impressing me here. I don't think that they should have won to Panama the other day. Um, yeah, you're gonna give me plus points in a very close contested game. I'm kind of confused about this line here. It just didn't make sense to me, so I'm just gonna take it. All right, the last game on the docket here. This one is what everyone probably wants to talk about. We got Mexico versus United States, and this is to determine who is first, second, and second in this pool. Now, I already have a pre-tournament ticket for USA to win the first seed and Mexico to win the second seed. So that's essentially the same thing as getting the United States on the money line here. So I got some value there, but what can we expect here? What are your thoughts on this game?
Yeah, so it looks like we're still going to have the same lineup as last time. So I think Byron Buxton's sitting out again just for precaution because he got hit the other day. But hey, you take out Byron Buxton, you bring in like the best fielder in baseball, PCA. And then I think Will Smith is starting, which is no slouch over Cal Raleigh. Even though I don't necessarily like the Dodgers, I'm a big fan of Will Smith. And then Bobby Witt sitting again. Oh, Bobby Witt sit. Guess what? Gunnar Henderson, who's one of the best shortstops. So I still love the USA here. I personally, when I've been watching the USA, I feel like, and I don't like that we've been doing this. We've been playing down to a competition beginning and then turning it on when we have to. I feel like we'll see the best of USA here. I think we'll see immense focus. They know what Mexico has done. They know Mexico is like, oh, we scored 16 runs against this team. You guys only scored this runs against this team. But I don't believe that Mexico will be able to touch Paul Skeens. It's kind of ironic. The last two games USA has played, they've given up. Skubal and Webb gave up a home run the first inning, and then they give up nothing after that. But I don't see Paul Skeens giving up a home run the first inning, like the first at bat. But I just think what USA needs to do, because Paul Skeens is going to pitch 3 to 4 innings because of the pitch count. If USA gets out in front early, I think it'll be hard for Mexico to come back because like I said, Paul Skeens is not going to get touched in my personal opinion because the majority of these players on Mexico have not seen Paul Skeens. If you see Paul Skeens for the first time, he's an alien. It's very scary. So give me USA minus 3.5.
Yeah, I don't see them being able to touch Paul Skeens. Paul Skeens is built different. He is one of the scariest pitchers in all of baseball. And the scariest part about him is that he's so young. He's going into his third season and he's just improving. I was watching videos of him with working on his arm slots so that batters couldn't figure out what pitch is coming. And if he nails that last part of his throwing routine, that's just going to be even scarier than 97 cutters coming at you in the wrong direction. So yeah, I have two bets here. I put them both at a half a unit. I took USA minus 3.5 at minus 106. I think there's decent value on the United States team here. I think you're right. I think they're coming into their own. They're going to play up to their competition in Mexico. They do not want to be embarrassed by Mexico. They don't want to do it. I think they're going to come in motivated here. The other best bet I have here, Mexico USA under 11.5. I think this is totally too much points. This is the same run totals that we would see at Coors Field, which is set at extreme elevation. Both teams possess good bullpens, and yeah, sure, we can see runs, but we're not going to see runs from Mexico early on. And USA has not been starting games out hot. So if we're looking at 3 to 5 runs total in the first 5 innings, I'm very confident, or feel very confident to play here the under 11.5 for the full game. I don't think I don't think, I think it's just too much. How many runs do you think you're going to be able to score in pulse games? And again, like I said,
Yes.
both bullpens are really solid. Pitching wins out most of the time. I really consider putting under 11.5 as a full unit play, but again, you're dealing with such a superstar of a team that if they go off, they can go off. So what I did was I split my full unit on this game, put half on the USA minus 3.5, and put half on Mexico USA under 11.5, and I feel pretty good about it. I did want to mention a parlay here. I don't know if it's the smartest betting advice, which is always a great segue to talk about a bet. But we were talking about it last night before the DR and Venezuela lines dropped, and I wanted to get action in on those games. And this is a 4-leg money line parlay here. USA, Great Britain, Dominican Republic, and Venezuela. This is juiced at minus 125, but for most books, you can find a booster to get this to near even money. I think that there is value there. And this is what I was saying earlier. I'm a little bit over leveraged on DR and Venezuela already, and maybe even a little bit on the USA because I have over 1.5 units riding on them to win today. So we're going to stick with it, though. I feel pretty good about it, and I'm just going to ride it, and we're going to move on from baseball. Any other thoughts
Oh,
before?
actually,
Yeah, go for it.
I have something to mention in baseball. A couple tidbits. First thing, we have our first quarterfinal locked: Korea versus Japan. Because of they've been dominant. They already locked it. I don't know if you saw that. But that was the first thing.
Yep. Yep.
Yep,
A little bit
perfect.
mad
And
about it because I was on the wrong side, but yeah, it's cool.
but obviously that's pretty cool. We're gonna see them again. I'm happy we're seeing part two
Oh yeah.
from the rivalry. But the second thing was I'm gonna say this. I'm not just saying this because I'm Italian. Also, Italy has the best home run celebration I've ever seen. So what happens is when they hit a home run, they walk in the dugout, they put on a blazer, and then Vinny Pasquantino hands the person who hits a home run a shot of espresso, and then he kisses him on the cheek after. That's so Italian.
I saw that. So
That's the
funny.
best celebration ever.
Yeah, well, we'll see if it's going to happen again when they play USA tomorrow. But that is a great celebration. Everybody was talking about the espresso machine in the dugout.
Because like I was like, is this actually espresso? And then I saw in the cup, I was like, that's espresso.
Yeah, yes, it is. Yes, it is. So, just for our listeners listening here, today is the last big day of this round in of the World Baseball Classic. Tomorrow there's 4 games, and then the day after there's only 3 games. So there's going to be a lot less volume going forward, and then going into the knockout rounds where it's single elimination, you're definitely going to see less plays because the lines are much more competitive when the teams playing each other are much more competitive. It's what it is. I'm seeing a lot of value right now. We've been doing really well, minus today's early pick. All right. Anything else in baseball before we move on?
Nope.
All righty then. What do you want to talk about first? Hockey, basketball, or which direction are we going in? I
You
guess
can go soccer if you want.
Oh, yes, we got a soccer play by our main man, Prince, who couldn't be here today. Now, the line is gone. The line is gone. I checked it right before. The line's at minus 185 on Bet365, but you can definitely find it as a parlay piece. And I think this is wonderful. And the fact that the line is moving so dramatically tells you something about where you should be headed into this match. But we're going to the Norway Cup. I'm going to try to pronounce these names, and I apologize for all the listeners. Egersund versus Ailsund. Two A's, Aalasund. We're going to take the BTTS and over 2.5 goals at minus 135. This has hit 5 straight in head to head against these two teams. This is one of the highest scoring regions in the world. And when we typically see two Nordic teams match up against each other, we see a shootout. So I'm definitely going to take that. I took it last night at minus 130. I saw that bet 365. And I took it today, parlayed with Arsenal to score 1+ goal tomorrow. That's a value pick that I had. Another pick, by the way, if you want another parlay piece, we're going to do a Champions League show. I also like Man City to score 1+ goal as a parlay piece, just to throw it in to get the juices a little bit better anywhere you see it. I did have a play on Man City over 1.5 goals as well. That was given out, I think it was last Monday, and that line has gone. All right, let's go to the NHL here. I do have one play. I'm going to take the Washington Capitals 60-minute money line at minus 120. I just think that they're being undervalued here, even though the money line is at minus 120. This is going to be a tough game for Calgary. They don't have any offensive output at all. The sharp money is all over Washington on the spread and on the money line, which typically is good. Calgary has lost. Yeah, granted, they beat Carolina, which is a hard team, last time out. That was 2 days ago. I think that was Saturday. But they've lost 4 of their last 5. They're not really good. And Washington needs to turn it around. They've lost their last 3, but they have been playing decent teams: Boston, Utah, Montreal. And before that, they were doing really, really well on a 3-game win streak. So I'm going to take Washington. I just don't really see how Calgary is going to be competitive here. They just don't have any they're just not creating any shots. So that's kind of what I saw in that game, and I'm going to roll with the 60-minute money line at minus 120. Not a whole lot in NHL today. There was a few looks that I was looking at, but that was the best one that I saw. LA Kings are playing at 4 p.m. That's against the Blue Jackets. That's going to be a fun game, actually. I think
I
that,
had
yeah, go on.
a I had a lean kind of in that game, but like it's at the over is at like a weird point where it's over 6.5, like plus 115, and the over 5.5 is like minus 140. I was liking the over, like over 6 in that game. I'm probably not going to do it because of how weird the line is right now. But one of the reasons why is because the Kings have not been really good at defense lately. They've been averaging like 4 goals per game the last, like 4 out of 6, personally, and I feel like the Kings against a team like the Blue Jackets, they may be capable to score. I can see like a 5-1 game or like even like a 5-2 kind of game, but just has how the line, the over under is weird. I'm probably gonna like stay away from it because it's at that weird, point, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I do hear you. I do hear that. But maybe a good live betting possibility here. Yeah, by the way, the last piece of my Capitals play was yes, and he is. I just confirmed it. Logan Thompson is playing is going to be the goalkeeper for Washington, which makes a huge difference and definitely adds a lot of value to preventing Calgary from scoring. Sorry, I was looking for that piece of information. I wrote a note to go look it up before the show, and I just got lost because there's so many things to do because we have real lives. All right, yeah, Utah, Chicago, also an interesting game. And Rangers, Philadelphia. I feel like the Rangers should not be given plus money. You can get them at plus 125 on the money line, but I'm going to wait for our main man Squishy to put out some picks today, and I'll try to retweet that out if he does that, because his plays are on fire. Drew, any last thoughts in hockey before we move to the NBA?
No, no last thoughts, but I do have an NBA pick.
All right, you know what? Lead us in, bro. What do you got?
Yeah, so this is actually one of my favorites. I make sure I did research, but I love. So we have, I think it's coming up at 7 p.m. Eastern. Since I'm in Arizona, by the way, I don't have daylight saving time, so I moved time zone. So I'm back to Pacific time. So I remember this is not 9:30 anymore. It's 8:30 for me. So I'm glad I remembered that. So I copped on at the right time. But I like the what was it? The 76ers and Cavs under 226 and a half. Of course, we know Joel Embiid is out, but also Tyrese Maxey is out, and VJ Edgecombe is questionable. The Cavs are coming off a back-to-back, and they haven't been scoring as many points as they have lately. I don't see where the Sixers get much offense here with Maxey out, and even if Edgecombe does play, I like this. If he doesn't play, I like this like a lot, a lot. I don't. I see this could be possibly, in my opinion, like the Cavs. Winning this game like 115 and 90 something. I love this total. I love the under, especially the way we see the injuries are taking place.
If Maxi and Embiid are out, I don't understand why anybody. I know Prince links Sixers here. I don't understand why. I don't know how they're going to be competitive, and without Edgecombe for sure. Just this is going to be a broken
Yeah,
game.
Maxey's official. I made sure to double check.
Yep. So that means that I like my play even more. I gave it out last night, and I think that there's a ton of value on it. Even if Maxi played, I was playing this for the record. And I didn't write the juice on there, so I'm gonna go look at my notes right now because I know that I screenshotted it like I should. But I took a reduced line on the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Denver Nuggets. Why don't you filibuster for a second while I go look up
Yeah,
those lines?
actually, it looks like the Cavs game moved up to 227 and a half. So it looks like the over is gaining steam, but I'm gonna stick with my gut 'cause I've been hot on totals. So I'm gonna stick with the under, just like yesterday when I was saying I like the under for the Mavericks Raptors game, and then it got announced out of nowhere that Cooper and Ingram were playing, and then it soared, and then they started off hot scoring, and then all of a sudden they stopped scoring. So I'm trusting my gut here. It looks like people are still betting the overs. And I just checked again. Maxi's still out. And also, they said for the Cavs report, which is interesting, that it's to be determined because it's a back to back. But I expect the majority of the Cavs starters to play. I think even also for your pick, Stern, even if one of the Cavs starters doesn't play, I don't see any way the Cavs do not blow out the Sixers, especially if they might be missing Edgecombe too. So yeah, that's just my opinion on this. I think some people may bet the over on this because they just see these two teams can score. But if you look at the Cavs' last games, they have not been really high scoring games. They've been like rarely reaching their 110s, and they've been playing pretty good defense. They played a hard fought game at home against the Celtics. It was like 98 to 100 something. So yeah, I really like this under.
Yeah, all right. I found my play and I took the under at 228 and a half over on ESPN for minus 120. I'm going to take the two leg parlay here. The Cavaliers minus 4.5, which is just, I think, amazing that you're able to get that within 1.5 possessions. And I'm going to take the Denver Nuggets plus 15 and a half. Sure, I understand the OKC should be favored here. Do I think that they should be favored by 7 points? No. Do I think that they should cover 15 and a half points? Definitely not. I don't care. They have the best player on the court or the best defensive player on the court. I don't know who OKC is going to be able to use to defend the interior. I wouldn't be surprised if Denver pulls out an upset here. But give me the plus 15 and a half points parlayed with the Cleveland Cavaliers at minus 4.5. And I got that on FanDuel for minus 128. Any thoughts on that Denver game?
No, I like that a lot. I think this has been a rivalry. Seems like we're playing a lot lately. I think Denver's going to come out hungry, especially after what happened to Jokic. That was very dirty by Dort, in my opinion. And I think Denver is going to want to try to win this game. I think these two teams, actually, I think these two teams don't like each other. And I think Denver could possibly win this game. I don't see them losing by more than 15 points.
Yeah, and they did just play on February 27th, 5 games ago, and OKC won by just 6 points. And OKC. So we're getting literally the same rematch. OKC is a little less healthier, and we're getting more points. I don't understand it. I just don't get it. The other game that I wanted to look at was maybe Memphis versus Brooklyn. I thought that might be interesting, but No, thank you. Right. And then Golden State.
No, thank you.
Yeah, against Utah. Again, another game. No, thank you. And what's going on with the Knicks? How did they get blown out by the Lakers?
And then how are they favored?
Yeah, yeah, the Clippers are pretty good, but I'm gonna stay away from that game as
Yeah,
well.
stay away. Stay away. Like I've learned when it comes to the Knicks, you don't know what team's going to show up. You know, it's just like Vegas doesn't know either. That's why they're having them favored. They're like,
Yeah. All right, let's move into college basketball. I'm very excited for this segment because you're going to maybe be breaking down who is still fighting, who is not, what are their local championships, their division titles and stuff like that. So, bring us in. Let me know what the landscape is and who can we be betting on tonight.
yeah, so it's been amazing for the mid-major conferences. We've seen some crazy upsets already when it comes to tournaments. Yesterday, we saw North Dakota go all the way, go all the way to the conference title, which no one expected them to. They beat St. Thomas, and the Thomas was impressive. But then they had to face their big brother, North Dakota State, in the championship for the Summit League, and then they lost. So let me shout out these five teams that have automatic bids to the dance. Guys, by the way, if you win your conference tournament, it's not margin. Winning the conference tournament, you have automatic bids, and this means more to the mid majors, right? Because all the mid majors usually need to win their conference to get to the dance, right? Of course, there's some like 40% of the Power Five conference teams already made it from automatic bids. So the Missouri Valley Conference winner, UNI, they were like plus 1,500 to win the conference. Big South winner, of course, the favorite High Point one. They are an amazing team. They shoot the crap out of the three. They play good defense and they can drive. The A-Sun, Queens. Queens, they beat Central Arkansas when Cameron Hunter, Central Arkansas, scored like nearly 50 points. That's a very tough performance. Ohio Valley Conference, Tennessee State, welcome to the dance as well. And the Summit League, North Dakota State, welcome to the dance, Bison. So those are the updates for that. I didn't know if you had anything to say, sir, before I go to a couple picks I like.
No, not really. I'm gonna follow. I've been watching my model closely, but this close to the end of the season, it's hard to understand the motivation spots. So I kind of stay clear. I like the middle of the season where you can kind of watch teams' progressions and then you can kind of
Yep.
see like if a team starts out hot and then they start slowing down in the middle of November, December, in January, then you kind of know that they're in a downward trajectory and you know to bet against them. And then the opposite is true. When a really good team starts the season out slow, but starts to pick it up around December, January, then you can kind of start betting on them more and more. But at this point of the season, I rely on you and a few other people like Tom Casale to kind of give me the information that I need. And once we get into the tournament, I'll start to have some more picks, but more half units than anything or parlay pieces, not anything official.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. And then to go to the picks, of course, we have some important games, but I want to limit them. If you have anything you want to ask about any games, like early games or some, feel free to ask after. We have the Big Sky tournament. Yesterday was a big upset in the Big Sky tournament. Not an upset because they technically weren't favored, but Montana State lost the 2 seed to Idaho when they were in control of it. And but now we have Northern Colorado at Montana. I really like this Northern Colorado team. They opened at -4.5, actually. Now they're -3.5. So it looks like Montana's getting steam. Last time these guys played, it was the last game of the season. Northern Colorado absolutely obliterated them. I like them to do the same thing. Northern Colorado started out like 1-7. Now I think they're like 9-1 or 10-1 since they got their healthy roster. People make an argument they could be the best team in the conference since that return of their players. So I do like Northern Colorado -3.5 here. In my personal opinion, for because I have two picks. My first pick, I don't know if you had any takes on that game.
Nope, definitely lean there. Have the number there. Sharp money is very much with you. So yeah, let's roll.
And then the last one, so this is an 8:30 p.m. game. Santa Clara, people believe, and I think they did, they basically booked their way to an automatic bid in the tournament. We might have the first time where we have three people come out of the West Coast Conference with St. Mary's, Gonzaga, and Santa Clara. But I personally like, oh, he caught it. I personally like Santa Clara to cover this 4.5. It opened at 3.5, so it's keep moving up. But I'm gonna wait because I think St. Mary's will continue to gain steam. So I'll let you know later if I decide to bet it since the game's at like 11:30 Eastern. So I'm going to wait on that one. So my only official pick right now is Northern Colorado -3.5.
All right, I locked that in, and I am fully playing that as well. Oh, is it too late for your World Baseball Classic first run innings? Yes or no on a parlay?
No, it's not for Israel because Dominican Republic's batting first.
Okay, real quick, give that out to our listeners, and then we'll
Yeah.
invite anybody who wants to come on and talk to us to come on, and then we'll close up the show. Unless,
Yeah.
yeah, I do actually have a question on college
Actually, the
basketball.
DR got the first 2 outs, but hey, man, they can score 6 runs like that. So hoping that hits. But my one I like is it's Israel not to score a run in the first inning, and then it's Nicaragua not to score a run in the first inning, and Mexico not to score a run in the first inning.
Yeah.
Oh, did Soto just hit a bomb? Oh no, another out. God, 2 warning track outs.
All right, all right. Hey, Michael, how you doing, man? I did accept you. I'm not sure if you can hear me or not. Just request again. If not, I apologize. Sometimes these things get sticky. Although I think I hear you.
Yo, what's up?
Hey, how you doing, man? Good morning. How have
Good.
you been? How was
Good
your
morning.
weekend?
Interesting to say the least. Was dodging tornadoes on Friday and Saturday, so that was fun.
Where are you located again?
So I'm in Kansas City.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I used to live about an hour and a half from there. Yeah, that was one of the most terrifying moments of my life was being within a mile or two of a tornado.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can feel the electricity in the air. Your hair stands up, and you can feel like the power of that thing is just unlike anything you've ever felt like before. It's
Yeah,
pretty wild.
it was pretty crazy. I got nothing.
Just coming on to say hi.
Yeah, just come on and say hi. And we can tamper now in the NFL.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So Kelsey's coming back, and then
Oh, Kelsey is coming back. I didn't see that news yet.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
Good for you
And
guys.
then,
You need a stability arm there.
Yeah, and then the Niners are looking to trade Trent Williams.
Yeah, that I think that kind of makes sense. They're going to need a retool on this offseason. They can't just keep doing what they've been doing and expect the same different results, right? I mean, they're a great team, but I think that the blowout in the what was it conference? It was just embarrassing. They need retool and rebuild instead of just trying to make it work.
The main issue was too many injuries. We were missing some of our best players to injuries. So that was the biggest issue, in my opinion.
Yeah, there's that too. Definitely that definitely hurts. Nothing you can do about that though, unless you want to make your team a little bit deeper. All right, cool. Oh, I see Brock Newsome is on here. If you guys aren't following him, I'm working with him to possibly set up a DFS system for ourselves. He has had a lot of success on that as well, and I definitely want to get involved. If you think that you can make money in betting, DFS is really where you can make a lot of money. Not to say that I have yet, but I'm looking forward to trying to do that as well. All right, Drew, why don't you recap us with your best bets, and I'll recap us with my 15 bets, and then we'll get on out of here.
Yep, sounds good. I would say my best bets are under you can get under 220.5 now for -120 for the Cavs Sixers game, and then Northern Colorado -3.5 versus Montana. I believe it's -110. Yeah, that's it for me.
All right, send me both of those plays, please, with the juice, and then I'm going to get that in our recap screen as soon as we end the show. I have a bevy of picks here. Panama on the money line -105. A 3-leg parlay featuring Dominican Republic -4.5, Venezuela money line, and Man City to score 1+ goal. That goes off tomorrow. Just look at Man City. I think they're playing Real Madrid. Next up, we got Great Britain on the run line -2.5 at -124. I like another parlay here: Venezuela -4.5 and Dominican Republic money line for -146. I think Cuba should not be too many points for Cuba. Give me the +2.5 at +102 over on FanDuel. And then last but not least, I like Mexico USA to go under 11.5 runs. I took that at a half a unit, and I took the USA to win by 3.5 runs as well. Don't forget the 4-leg money line parlay: USA, Great Britain, DR, and Venezuela. That's at -125. And the NHL, I have the Washington Capitals 60-minute money line at -120. And the NBA, I have a 2-leg parlay: Cleveland Cavaliers -4.5, and the Denver Nuggets at +15.5. I'm very excited for today. This is going to be a great day in sports. And as we keep talking about, this is the sports equinox. We have it for at least another month and a half. And we're just going to keep on rolling. Very excited for the golf tournament this weekend. We're going to get into that. I'm starting my research tonight. And again, World Baseball Classic is going to be here, and it's going to be staying, and we're going to be continuing to dive into each game. From me, SternBets, Drew DeLucci, your hosts, have a wonderful day. Thank you for tuning in.